Elise. I'm a curatorial researcher at the Institute Texan Cultures. I'm here with Joanna Andera, the director of Special Event and Folklife Festival, who has graciously agreed to show us how to make a traditional Lebanese baklava that she and her family have been making every year. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
My pleasure. It's always wonderful to share the traditions. Working at the Institute really makes it a special place, and it's wonderful to be able to share and exchange recipes and learn how different people make their different foods, especially during the holidays.
Can you tell us quickly where the name baklava came from, or how you say baklava in Lebanese?
In Arabic, well, we say it Baklawi, and it comes from an Assyrian way back, where, as I read, if you had dough and nuts and honeybees, you had a dessert. And so that's really when it started, way back when. And it's really changed through the generations and through the years. And I think that in this particular case, this is shared by a lot of the Middle Eastern countries, the Syrians, the Lebanese, the Turkish, everybody. So
great, I'm excited to learn how to make it. What ingredients are there to make this Lebanese baklava?
okay, in this you need the phyllo dough, which is paper thin, and it comes frozen at a Middle Eastern restaurant or a grocery chain. You need to take it out of the freezer and leave it overnight so that it is cold but not frozen, so that you can work with it. You're going to need the mixture for the stuffing or the middle section of the baklava. And this is done with nuts. You can use walnuts, you can use pistachios, you can use pecans, you can use a combination of all three. You food process it, and you make sure that it's not pulverized. I personally like it with a little bit of consistency to the nuts, so that when you bite into the batlewi or baklava, you can really taste the nuts. So you food process them and you put them in a bowl. Then you add a little touch of rose water, and you add plain sugar. And you mix the two together, all three things together, and it looks something like this. Okay, then you need to render butter. A lot of people will just use unsalted, sweet butter and just heat it over the stove and let it melt. Rendering the butter takes out all of the salt, and you can see by just putting it on the stove and letting it simmer for a little bit. And then this will last up to a year in the refrigerator. And it will harden into like a soft paste for storage. But for our purposes, we need it melted. And we're going to be working pretty fast here. We get the phyllo dough out. And I'll be really honest, sometimes they're broken in shipping, and they're not easy to do, but you can patch them together if you need to. In this case, it looks pretty doggone good. Unroll it gently, and you can see there we go. Okay, we're going to start. You get your aluminum baking sheet, and I like using half hotel pans. I like the size. They're easy to work with, and I don't know, I think it's a 13 by 17, but I wouldn't swear. Okay, we butter our bottom. I am extremely generous with the butter personally. I think it just adds to the flavor of the season to make sure that you get enough calories in all of your desserts. Now, this says that we have approximately 28 sheets. So I'm splitting them in two because I am going to do this half and half for our purposes today. This.
And how many sheets thick will each layer be?
It just depends. I'm using 3. You have to have somewhat patience because the phyllo is very delicate and you can't be in a hurry to do this. Nuts. I'm going to measure for everybody's purposes. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, not near enough. 3. Oh, what the heck. I don't want to take it. We'll just put it all in there. It'll be wonderful.
So an entire bowl of crushed up nuts.
It's about 4 cups, 4.5 cups. This is the hard part. A lot of women can do this freestyle where they just actually look at it. I measure because I like consistency, and you cut this way first. What we've done here is we've made these lines. Now we're going to start going horizontally, vertically. And as you can see, usually if you have flour on your fingers, it doesn't stick as much.
What is the importance of cutting it before you bake it?
I'm going to have to assume that once it's baked, it's crunchy and you can't cut it as well. And after you've baked your baklava or your batlewi, you will make a simple syrup. And that's 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water. You add a little squeeze of lemon, and again, a touch of rose water. And then you let it soak in. And voila! Merry Christmas. From my tradition to yours.